have discussed about the general characteristics and the classification of gymnosperms. From today's class, we will start with the type study of gymnosperms. There are only two type studies. One about the morphology, that is both external and internal anatomy, and the reproduction in case of cycads. Similarly, the second type study is about life cycle of Pinus. So in today's class, we will begin with the type study of cycads. First, let us see the systematic position of this cycads. This cycas belongs to the division Cycadophyta. Class Cycadopsida. Order Cycadales. It belongs to the family Cycadaceae. The genus is Cycas. If you look at the systematic position of this particular gymnosperm, Cycas, it belongs to the kingdom Plantae and it belongs to the division Cycadophyta, class Cycadopsida. As I have told you while explaining the classification system, which is given by Sparman, he has divided the gymnosperms into three main classes: Cycadopsida, Coniferopsida and Gnatopsida. So this particular plant Cycas, it belongs to the class Cycadopsida and it belongs to the order Cycadales. And the plant which belongs to this order Cycadales, they are commonly known as cycads. The gymnosperms which belongs to the order Cycadales, they are commonly known as cycads. And the cycads belongs to the family Cycadaceae. Under this order Cycadales, you have only two families. Under order Cycadales, you have only two families. One is Nilsoniaceae and Cycadaceae. All the gymnosperms which belongs to this family Nilsoniaceae, they are all extinct. Among the family Cycadaceae, it is having both living forms and the extinct forms. And this Cycadaceae order, again it consists of 12 genus. There are 12 genera are present mainly in Cycadaceae. Among that, the Cycas genera is one of the most distributed genera in the order Cycadales. The genera Cycas, it consists of most species of Cycadales and it is mostly distributed all over the world. And the order Cycadales, they are commonly known as cycads. This is about the systematic position of cycas. Next, coming to the distribution of the cycas. If you look at the plant cycas, it is distributed all over the world. Particularly, It is distributed in tropical and subtropical regions. It is mainly distributed in tropical and subtropical regions. It is mainly present in the countries like India, Bangladesh, Nepal, even in Australia, China. In most part of the world, this cycas species is present, and it is distributed mainly in tropical and subtropical regions. There are about more than 20 species of cycas are present. Out of these 20 species which are present all over the world, 4 cycas species are native to India. 4 cycas species are native to India. They are Cycas circinaris, Cycas pectinata, Cycas amphi, and Cycas bedoni. So these 4 species of cycas, they are naturally found in India. They are native to India, naturally found in India. There are some other species like Cycas revoluta. This Cycas revoluta and even the Cycas bedoni, these are ornamental in nature. They are nothing but ornamental plants which are grown in garden. Only these 4 species are naturally occur in India, and the species like Cycas revoluta and Cycas bedoni, they are even grown in the garden as ornamental plants. So this is about the distribution of the cycas plant both across the world and in India. If you look at the habit of the cycas plant, it is an evergreen tree. Usually it is slow growing. It is an evergreen, which means to say that throughout the 12 months, throughout the period of 12 months, it bears foliage. So that's why it is known as an evergreen tree. And usually the cycas plant is slow growing, and it is a small tree. Usually it is a small tree. The length of this tree, it varies from 1.5 meter to 4 meter in height. It's a small tree. The length of it is 1.5 meter to 4 meter in height. So this is about the habit of the cycas. Next, let us move on to the morphology of cycas. Let us first study the external morphology of cycas. Before going to the external morphology, if If you look at the origin of this plant cycas, origin, it is said to be originated in the Carboniferous era. Carboniferous era, that is 350 million years ago. The cycas plant is originated on the earth, and this is said to be originated from Cycadophilicales, which are commonly known as seed ferns. These Cycadophilicales are the extinct gymnosperms or the primitive gymnosperms, which bear the characteristics of both the gymnosperms and pteridophytes. That's why they are commonly known as seed ferns. The pteridophytes are commonly known as ferns, but they do not bear seeds. But these Cycadophilicales, they are said to be originated from pteridophytes, and this cycas plants and the order Cycadales, the plants which belong to order Cycadales, they are said to be originated from this Cycadophilicales. And this cycas was very prominent, or it dominated in the Mesozoic era. It dominated the earth in the Mesozoic era. The order Cycadales, or the plants which belongs to the order Cycadales, they dominated the earth in the Mesozoic era. So this is in brief about the origin of cycas. Now let us move on to the morphology of cycas. Let us first see the external morphology. If you look at the external morphology of cycas, as I have told you, the plant body is sporophytic in nature. In most of the gymnosperms, the plant body is sporophytic in nature, which means to say the sporophytic phase is dominant over the gametophytic phase. So the plant body is sporophytic in nature, and it is well differentiated into root, stem and leaves. If you look at the plant body of cycas, it is sporophytic in nature, and the sporophytic plant body is well differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Let us see one by one. First let us see the morphology of roots, external morphology of roots. While explaining the general characteristics of gymnosperms, I told you, in case of cycas, you will find two types of roots. If you look at the root system of cycas, you will find two types of roots. One is the normal taproot system. Normal taproot system is present. Along with that, you will find a special type of leaves, special type of roots. They are known as corolloid roots. The root system in case of cycas, it consists of two types of roots. One is the normal taproot system, and the second one is a special type of roots known as corolloid roots. Let us see what are these. As I have told you, in case of gymnosperms, the root system is mainly a taproot system. In case of taproot system, when the seed germinates, the radical will come out, and that radical will develop into a main root. Suppose You consider this as a C. Radical will come out first. So this radical will develop into a main root, and from this main root the secondary and the tertiary roots will arise. So this is nothing but the taproot system. So in case of cycas, during the early developmental stages, it is having normal taproot system. But in the later stage of development, when these taproot system, when algae like nostoc and Anabaena, they get into this taproot system, those roots which consist of nostoc and Anabaena, algae nostoc and Anabaena, they start growing or they start coming above the surface of the earth. Usually this taproot system is developed below the surface of the earth. Once this nostoc and Anabaena they settle inside the taproot system, the taproots which containing this nostoc and Anabaena, they started growing towards the surface of the earth, and these roots which consist of nostoc and Anabaena, they are profusely branched. They become branched like this, and they come above the surface of the soil. If you look these structures, they exactly look like corals which are present inside the sea. So they are, because of the coralline appearance of these roots, they are commonly known as coralline roots. When the taproot system, when the nostoc and Anabaena gets inside the taproot system start developing above the surface of the earth, and they branches themselves, and these roots which are formed above the surface of the earth, they are having the shape of corals which are present in the sea. Because of this coral-like appearance or coralline-like appearance, they are commonly known as coralloid roots. So these coralloid roots, they consist of the algae like nostoc and Anabaena. So this is about the root system, normal taproot system, and the main function of this normal taproot system is it provides anchorage. First, the main function is it provides anchorage, means this taproot system, it helps the plant to exactly hold to the soil surface. It helps in holding, or it provides anchorage to the plant, taproot system, and it also helps in absorption on water and minerals. This taproot system, they help in absorption of water as well as minerals from the soil. So this is about the function of taproot system. When it comes to the coralloid roots, these coralloid roots, since they consist of nostoc and Anabaena, these nostoc and Anabaena, they help in nitrogen fixation. You might have studied in your PUC classes, the plants, they do not have the capacity to directly absorb the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere. So that nitrogen has to be converted into nitrates and nitrites. So the nitrates and nitrates forms can be absorbed by the plants. Directly nitrogen cannot be absorbed. So this nostoc and Anabaena, these algae, they help in converting this nitrogen into nitrates and nitrates. So this two algae, they help in nitrogen fixation. So this is about the root system or the morphology of roots in case of cycas. stem is erect and it is aerial. Erect means straight and aerial means it is present above the surface of the earth. Stem is aerial, erect and it is woody in nature. It is not soft. It is hard and woody in nature. And one of the important character in case of stem of cycas is it is unbranched. The stem of the cycas is unbranched, unlike other gymnosperms like Pinus and Natum. Pinus and Natum, they are branched. They consist of, the main stem consists of several branches. But in case of cycas, the stem is unbranched. It do not bear any branches. A single stem is present. On the top of the stem, the leaves are developed. There is no branching in case of cycas. So the stem is unbranched. You can see in this chart. It is a single hard woody stem, a single stem which do not show any branching. On top of the stem, you will find the leaves. So the stem is erect, aerial, hard, woody, and it is unbranched. And another important characteristic feature in case of cycas stem is it consists of leaf bases, or they are also known as leaf scars. You might have seen in case of coconut. In coconut tree, what happens? Once the leaves become old, they fall off from the tree. Once they fall off, they create a marking or scar on the stem of the tree. The falling leaves, they create or they leave behind a scar on the stem. So this scar or this marking is nothing but the leaf base of leaf scars. In case of cycas also, when the older leaf falls off, they leave behind leaf bases of leaf scars on the stem. So this is one of the important characteristic feature in case of cycas stem, the presence of persistent leaf bases of leaf scars. And I told you, usually the leaves are present at the tip of the stem. So this is about the external morphology of stem. Let us see the external morphology of leaves. In case of cycas, it consists of two types of leaves. One is normal foliage leaves and the second one is scaly leaves. The cycas tree, it mainly consists of, or the foliage in case of cycas, it bears two types of leaves, or it is said to be dimorphic leaves. Dimorphic. It means to say di means two. Two types of leaves are present in case of cycas. One is normal foliage leaves. They are also known as assimilatory leaves. Assimilatory leaves or foliage leaves. And the second type of leaves, they are known as scaly leaves. So let us see one by one. These foliage leaves are the normal leaves, or they are also known as assimilatory leaves, which are present at the top of the stem, and they are present in the form of crown. So they are present in the form of a crown at the tip of the stem, and these foliage leaves, they are pinnately compound. They are pinnately compound. If you look at this, this is a single leaf. So this single leaf, it mainly consists of a central axis. This central axis is known as rachis. The central axis of the leaf is known as rachis. And on both sides of the rachis, you will find leaflets. The leaf base of the cycas leaf, it is dissected. Because it is dissected, it is a compound leaf. Why it is known as pinnately compound leaf means around the central axis, that is around the rachis, the leaflets will arise. On both sides of the rachis, you will find the presence of leaflets. In a single leaf, you will find about 80 to 100 leaflets. In a single leaf, 80 to 100 leaflets are present on both sides of the rachis. And if you look at a single leaflet, it is flat and it is sessile. A single leaflet is flat and it is green. It is sessile. Sessile means petiole is absent. This leaflet is directly attached to the rachis. There is no presence of petiole. So it is said to be sessile. Single leaflet, it is flat, green and it is sessile, and it consists of sharp apex. Tip of the leaflet is sharp, so it is consists of sharp apex, and it only consists of a single middle vein. The leaflet in case of cycas, it consists of only single middle vein. In the center of the leaflet, only a single middle vein is present. It do not consist of lateral veins. Lateral veins are not present. Lateral veins are absent. Only central middle vein is present. So this is about the single leaflet structure in case of cycas. The leaf is pinnately compound. The central axis of the leaf is known as rachis. On both sides of the rachis, you will find 80 to 100 leaflets. If you look at the structure of each leaflet, it is a flat, green, sessile in nature, and it bears sharp apex. It only consists of the central midvein. Lateral veins are absent. So this is about the foliage leaves which are present in cycas. These foliage leaves, they are also known as assimilatory leaves. The main function of these foliage leaves is, since they consist of chloroplast, they help in photosynthesis process, or they help in the production of food for the plant. So the main function is photosynthesis. Next, coming to the second type of leaves, they are scaly leaves. These scaly leaves are nothing but hard, triangular shaped leaves which are present at the tip of the stem, and they are having the brown color. The scale leaves are the brown color, hard, triangular shaped leaves which are present at the tip of the stem. You can see here in this. These are all the foliage leaves, and the small triangular structures. These small triangular structures, they are nothing but the scale leaves. These scale leaves are very hard and they are having triangular shape and they are brown in color. And if you look at a single scale leaf, on the surface of these scale leaves, small hair-like structures are present. These hair-like structures are known as ramenta. These hair-like structures present on the scaly leaves, they are known as ramenta. And the main function of these scaly leaves is that they help in protecting the apex of the stem. So usually these scaly leaves, they are present at the tip of the stem. So at the tip of the stem you are having the apex or the apical meristem of that stem. So the main function of these scale leaves is to protect that apical part of the stem. And these foliage and scaly leaves, they are present in the alternate manner. So first a foliage leaf will develop, after that a scaly leaf will develop, again foliage, next scaly. So they are present in the alternate manner at the tip of the stem. And another important thing in case of foliage leaves is that, I forgot to tell, if you consider this as rachis, that is nothing but the axis of the leaf. When the leaflets start arising from this rachis, they become coiled. During the initial developmental stages of the leaflets, they are coiled like this. So this type of coiling is known as circinate vernation. Circinate vernation. So during the formation of leaflets, in the earlier stages, the leaflets, they coil themselves like this. So why they coil? Why? When they, because these leaflets, the tip of this leaflet, leaf primordia will be there. So in order to protect that leaf apex or the leaf primordia, they coil like this. So this type of coiling is known as